Three, two, one. There's Huddy. There's Jack. And my camera's not working.
And this is Good Morning NASDAQ.
This is Good Morning NASDAQ.
There you go.
Still can't get my camera to work. You keep talking, Huddy.
Are we live?
We're live. There we are.
All right, we're live here with Dom, myself, and Jack, Mr. Jack Kellogg this morning, Friday, September 15th, 2023.
Friday, wow.
Exciting. How are we all doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. We've had a jam-packed week full of webinars, done a few video lessons. We've been jam-packed with Good Morning NASDAQ Wine Wednesday. We had all the boys on. First out in poker.
That was fun. That was very fun.
But
yeah, I want revenge.
Yeah, so as you guys start to funnel in, make sure you're hitting that like button, that little thumbs up button on the way in. It's kind of like your little proof of admission type of thing. Get in here, click that button, get the like button going. I'll do a little shout out to Vacay Jerky. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it, but I got a t-shirt from one of our good friends from a boot camp. That jerky is insane. We're not sponsored by them. I wish we were, because I think Steve Ranella is part of it. But I'm wearing the shirt this morning. How do we feel this morning, guys? Been a kind of a weird, like I would say like a 60 mile an hour type of week if we're driving along the highway. It's kind of had its ups and downs, but it's hasn't been too hot, but it hasn't been too cold. We've had some weed stocks. That's basically been what I've been paying attention to this week. But what do you guys feel going into this Friday?
I'll start it. Okay, go ahead. Go Kellogg.
No, go. I
was just gonna say I've just been focusing on the usual stuff like previous runners that are multi-day, multifaceted. NVOS has been multicultural. NVOS has been my biggest money maker this week. You know, kind of just hanging on to the breakout or just buying it higher when I would sell it and then rebuy it. But I was able to make good money on that. And then the short yesterday was kind of out of nowhere, but was really nice as well.
It wasn't crowded.
It wasn't crowded, and that was kind of my thinking. Like I was like, every good long bias trader that I know is so done with this ticker that you know who's left to buy it, and you know we're rather extended. And that's what happened. You know, no one was home once we started breaking levels, and then you know everyone that's been pumping it on Twitter had to panic out. So I just thought it was kind of like crowded with like weak-handed like prayers of players. And that's what kind of showed in the price action. So anyways, yeah, just kind of farming the former runner, and allowing everything else to set up.
Very nice. Anything to add to that, Mr. Kellogg?
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a weird week. Monday was a great trading day for me. Couldn't lose, and then Tuesday was the opposite, which is usually what happens. I couldn't fucking win.
Is that the day you said you left the chat by saying F trading?
Yeah, that was the day. That was the day. Just very frustrating. But then Wednesday I took completely off, white day. And that's kind of something that I've been getting into a little bit is have been doing like fishing on Wednesdays for on and off this year for maybe like 35% of the weeks. And it resets me to have a good Thursday and Friday. So I feel like I can handle like 2 days of trading, but then like if you keep going continuously without a break, you don't take that time to step back and reset. So took a step back Wednesday, Thursday, had a good day. Yesterday.
Traded your P&L yesterday?
Traded my P&L yesterday, but then I took a gapper on Nicola this morning, and I'm up nice already this morning, and I got a few ideas.
Well, do you want to talk about some of those ideas?
Yeah.
Just loosely?
Yeah, we're getting a gap up on the weed stocks in terms of that news that we saw. And I feel like my first like newbie kind of reaction would be like I have to get into these because they're gonna break out. And I feel like that's actually going to lead to like pullbacks at the open and possibly just like a sideways type consolidation day. So I did short a little CGC at 148. Not much, just a little bit to keep me from wanting to FOMO in long, and probably just looking for that 10-15 cent pullback at market open. With Nicola, I sold most of my shares at 130. Still have a little position left in case it pushes market open. That one I'm a bit more bullish on. because it usually has some type of morning push after a gap up, a small gap up without really a ton of extension. But I know they have a lot of
Oh
dilution,
shoot.
so gonna stay.
Just a little swing idea there.
Yeah, a little swing idea, and I'll see how the wheat stocks churn and burn, but it's really my only play coming into market open. There's no gappers. I didn't see any gappers at all, so
Yeah, from Gap Central, we have LIFW, which is a 10-cent stock.
There's quite a few little cheapy stocks. You have
Yeah, I feel like
LIFW,
definitely
eBet.
eBet's running
eBet's
again.
back. eBet's back.
Is Gratani still holding it?
I saw eBet. I saw eBet. No, I asked him this morning. He's not holding.
Let me see eBet. Gosh,
You got the.
I don't know,
You got the.
man. Say something. What were we gonna say?
I said you got the 5 cent level and you got the 6.3 level. I think it's something to keep an eye on, but I don't think there's a rush to get into it at market open. But definitely a nice little 2-day chart here.
This is definitely the
increase in
most low
volume.
price stocks we've seen pop off in like a month or two span. Like every day, there's not a ton of big gappers right now, but there's a lot of 20 and 30% movers that are all, under 10 cents, under $1. So I feel like if there's any sign about a bullish overall market, you got to see some of these turds start to come back to life, and we're starting to see a little bit.
Yeah, we're seeing the QQQ set up too for possible breakout cup and handle idea. Kind of been consolidating for 2 months now, but if it breaks out over 380, 385, it's probably going to go to 400 on the Qs. But the market is statistically weak in September, so we'll see if that seasonality plays true.
Just sitting there underneath the highs. So yeah,
Just
so for
chilling.
me, the weed stocks, I kind of agree with Kellogg. I did a video lesson for all you 4-leaf Clovers out there, kind of on my thoughts on ACB and CGC, so you should have access to that. But I think patience is going to be the play here. I think CGC reminds me a lot of IMPP, NKLA, FNMA, in that it's not going to just do it all of a sudden. And I realistically don't want it to just do it all of a sudden. I'd rather it kind of get back, start holding 150 as support and consolidating 150s, 160s before breaking out versus breaking out from the 120s. I think that's going to lead to a piss poor breakout that's not going to go very far. So right now, I'm totally fine leaving it alone. Let it set a top, a lower high to the breakout level at 190 that I can buy later down the road. It's Friday, so if it does have strength out of the gate and Jack's wrong on the short, I'd like the morning strength to kind of be the high and then some sort of fade and sideways action. But there's a world where this breaks out today and Monday. I realistically would rather be waiting. I would rather it happen Monday, Tuesday than today, because I don't like it starting 16% higher this morning. You got to imagine there's some shorts involved, but if I absolutely have to adjust and I really feel like it's going to break out, like it spikes from 140 to 175 this morning out of the gate and goes sideways and swizzles all day in a 10-cent range, I'll be buying that. But ideally, we set a top this morning and we have a few more days to consolidate, because just daily chart wise, we look like we're really far from the highs, and this would be a giant green candle if it tried to break out today.
Yeah, I think the most important thing for stuff like ACB and CGC is, while it's consolidating and building back, just draw your lines, make sure you're like fully aware of the key levels. I think ACB has some very nice levels. It's set up, right there at 84, probably the lows there at 70, probably another one at 90. And then as we get to the buck area, there'll be some more. So definitely not at the breakout level yet. And there's time. If this gaps up and goes sideways all day, then we have, Monday, Tuesday, we're looking at potential multi-day breakout. If it, kind of goes too fast, too soon right here, it's going to be problematic for a lot of traders. So yeah, just keeping an eye on the weed stocks and just trying to be as patient as possible to buy the pattern and not FOMO in just because it's going up, is the main goal here.
Yeah, because these are the type of plays I definitely feel the FOMO on, where you can just picture how glorious these breakouts are going to be if they actually do. You know, it's the start of a weed run. We haven't traded weed stocks in years. It's these two stocks. We have familiar history with them. And, you know, they've already gone on 50 or 100% moves. And you don't want to miss that next one. But, you know, being early isn't necessarily, you know, always such a big edge. I feel like these ones, the risk reward is going to be good no matter what. You'll be able to find 5 or 10 cents a share of risk. And so I'd rather be there on the day of, have the conviction, and have the size at the right time, and not have to just sit in a position risking, you know, 72 cents on ACB or $1.03 on CGC. I'd rather sit back and wait for the moment. Nice little wedge here on ACB. It's in the 93s. That's so annoying. Couldn't have done that yesterday for the first green day. Any questions? LFLY. That was a recent reverse split, right, for the weed stocks?
Yeah, it's a weed stock. It's a super low float. I was kind of eyeing it myself just because I like the share structure here, but I couldn't bring myself to actually buy that with any kind of confidence.
That's
What is
scary.
it? L what?
LFLY. It's Leafly.
It scared me
I think they reverse split yesterday or the day before.
2 days ago.
Yeah, and I wanted to mention too, been talking a lot about the gapper cycles, which was true for the most part over the last several days. It was right to keep shorting the gappers, but after yesterday with FWBI, that kind of felt like the euphoric one where, you know, topped at 110 and went down to 50. If you logged on to Twitter yesterday, every single person nailed it. And every single person who didn't nail it probably had FOMO. So if there is any type of gapper today or tomorrow, or not tomorrow, on Monday, then I would be just a little bit cautious because we've had a lot of really good ones in a row, and we can still have a few more good ones. But
so Kellogg, what you're saying is yesterday's one, you know, with the chart pattern history of the stock failing, mixed with the gap and crap, with shorts being in control the last week or so, and the offering, I believe, on this one, where you got basically over 50% on your money if you shorted at one. There's that it was so good that everyone's going to feel like the next one's going to be just as good, so it's probably going to be a trap. Is that kind of your mindset?
So. Yeah, I'd assume so. I'd assume that there's probably going to be a squeezer early next week since there's no stocks really gapping up today. I'd assume that there's probably a squeezer early next week.
Love that mindset. If you haven't already, hit the like button. We appreciate it. Keep the show free. We do this every single morning. See if there's any other questions, and we'll get on out of here. Anyone? And we've been talking a lot about the weed run election year. What about these mask plays? There's news it's coming back. I will not be wearing a mask. I can promise you that much.
I will also not be buying a mask play. I can tell you that much.
Nothing on COVID plays. No interest.
No.
Oh wait, yeah. If Huddy's not interested, I'm not interested.
Unless there's people dropping dead outside of hospitals again, like I don't think we're gonna have a COVID momentum.
Yeah, I tend to agree. And the predicting momentum, I feel like, is just not worth it. I'd rather sit back and, you know, I didn't have to predict weed was going to run like Huddy did to buy CGC earlier this week or last week, right? Because the chart pattern's still set up. And then once you put 2 and 2 together, that the sector is also a little warm, you just get a little extra conviction. So if COVID plays are going to come back, vaccines or masks or whatever, we'll see it in the gappers.
And
we'll see it in the runners.
All you need to have is like the inclination that something can or cannot run. Like for me, it was like, you know, I've been hollering and hooting about weed stocks running into the election year, and so was Jack. I mean, he nailed it really. He nailed it really well in September. I actually looked back at our chat logs, Jack, and September 18th, 2020 is when you loaded your first 8 weed stocks, which is almost like 3 years on the dot.
That's crazy.
So just having an inclination of where we are in the cycle and seasonality, it's not like I just started loading all these weed stocks like preemptively. I saw CGC trade 150, 180 million shares, and it had a perfect like multi-week, multi-day breakout chart. And I was like, all right, like take notice, game on. Let's play this chart. I didn't predict it. It was already there. I just had a feeling that this news was very important given the timing of the news more than what the news actually said.
Yes.
So
I
That's
agree.
some good morning digest.
Morning digest. Thank you all for being here this morning. It's already 9:22. We showed up a little late. We had technical difficulties. But we're going to head on over to the Clover room. Go over to vacajerky.com. Not sponsored, but doing a favor. And the jerky is freaking amazing. Have you had any of it, Huddy? Or Jack?
No, man, no one sends me anything.
Dude, I got wine, I got
getting these
jerky.
gifts?
You gotta talk to people. Dude, the jerky is unreal. It like melts in your mouth. It's like a pork belly, but it's like jerky. Oh my gosh. But thank you guys for being here. 7-day trial. Get in the room. Clovertrading.io. That's where we're gonna go hang out. That's where we post our watch list, our trade alerts, all that good stuff. So we'll see you guys there if you are a Clover. If not, hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Go Ducks, and we'll see you Monday at